What up, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Thank you guys so much once again for tuning back in for another recap. And unfortunately, it was another red recap here today, as you guys could tell from the thumbnail. And yeah, I want to go ahead and cover my trades on the day and where I went wrong today because definitely made a lot of mistakes. But if any of you are just looking at the charts from your first impression, you might think that, or at least from my impressions looking at it, today was definitely more of a choppy day and it was a lot trickier to trade, which is one of the reasons why I ended red on the day, right? And what makes me or what makes anyone really aware of the fact that it would be looking choppy is the fact that look at how many different fake outs it had. The Nasdaq, let's say, had this aggressive sell-off right around when the market opened up, and it ended up wanting to find this nice bounce here only for it to fall. There's some red candles mixed in there and then other green candles to try and soar. And we really just, kept getting a lot of choppiness. The market wouldn't make any clear directions upwards or downwards. So, like, let's say right here, for example, the Nasdaq fell. It looked like it was going to keep falling, making new lows to keep just continuously selling off. It ended up selling off to the bottom VWAP and finding a big green candle pushing it past the blue EMA line here, right? Only for it to happen somewhat again. And that's basically to sum it up short on the day, what ended up happening for me, where I went wrong. I kept getting caught in too many of these fake outs. I would buy in with a quarter, like I always tell you guys I initially do. And when this trade started going my way, I'd fully send it, average in with the other 3/4 for a gap up, only for the market to fake me out. And I'd have to cut the trade for a little loss. And then I would try it again because I think I'm getting confirmation, only for it to fake me out again, right? That's, if any of you guys were wondering, that's one of the most frustrating things about trading, when direction does not want to be clear. And days like today, it's definitely harder to manage your emotions, and that's definitely what happened to me. So not even sugarcoating it or anything, at one point today I was down, I think, $135, and my last trade I was able to hit like a solid $80 to $90 trade right around that area to put me down not so much on the day. So I'm thankful for that. And yeah, let me just show you the filled orders, 275 of them, and this was my last trade, right? I bought in at 844, averaged in at 847 in the morning at these price points, and I sold everything just over an hour later, basically. But here are all my filled orders so you guys can see them. And yeah, feel free to look at them on your own because I know it's a lot. But yeah, in terms of how I wanted to go about trading, the market opened up right around here at 6:30 in the morning and had this gap up to the SMA line, middle VWAP area, ended up getting rejected and kept selling off, right? And what I kept looking out for today was, just like yesterday, a potential gap up for TQs and a change of direction. The market, just like yesterday, right? Yesterday it started selling off aggressively and then ended up finding these higher lows and completely changed direction on the day. And today I wanted to look out for that same exact potential pattern. So the market right around here opened up and initially was just selling off, right? It kept selling off. There was that chop I was talking to you about. But I kept trying to get into TQQQ and getting faked out because I kept trying to predict the bottom. I kept thinking I found the bottom because I would find a lot of support, right? The Nasdaq would form a lot of green candles and try to go, only for me to keep getting faked out, and it continuously kept falling. So anywhere around these areas, I kept looking out for the fact that we could basically form a higher low anywhere here still, which is why we did end up seeing some type of gap up here for TQs later on. This was the move I wanted to capture, and I was able to ride up a lot of it, thankfully, but I did sell pretty early. I sold right around here, I think at this resistance, before I had this nice other leg up. And yeah, I just want to make you guys aware of the fact that that's why I was looking out for a potential play on TQQQ. Because looking at the bigger picture time frames, I saw that the market sold off initially, just like it did the previous basically 2 trading days. And the market did tend to want to change direction around these areas. So once it sold off to around the bottom VWAP, I was looking for a potential play up. It didn't have to happen, right? If the market kept selling off, I would have looked to keep going with SQQQ. But because it kept trying to be choppy, I thought there was some type of form of play for TQQQ that was gonna form basically, and I basically paid the price too many times before I actually saw the gap up. And unfortunately, that's where I ended up being red on the day, right? I got faked out too many times, fully sending a position. And where I could have done better today, for sure, is days like today when I see that the market is really choppy, it doesn't want to have a clear direction. I can definitely look to not be averaging in as heavy, right? Just because I'm able to use the full $10,000 that I'm using with right now to day trade, that doesn't mean I need to be fully averaged in at all, right? And same goes with you guys. The dollar amount is irrelevant. I just threw it out there because that's what I use. But it's basically in terms of position size. If the market is uncertain and I don't really know where direction is gonna head, it keeps faking me out. Sure, I can try sending it fully once or twice if I'm confident in it. But if I see that I'm continuously getting faked out, the market isn't being clear in direction, then I by no means at all have to keep fully sizing in. It could have been a lot smarter to only size in with another quarter, let's say, and only be in with half today because the market is very unpredictable. And if the trade went my way and I got a good trade, I would have been up, nothing crazy, probably only like 0.5% instead of 1% because I'm only being in with half my position, right? But in basically if you flip that around, I don't have to worry as much about my risk anymore, right? Because if I'm only in with half and I'm not continuously sending a full position and getting faked out, then I'm only gonna be losing half as much as I normally would have, and a day like today could have been much more manageable, right? I could have only ended down, let's say, broken even, or maybe even ended green if I really did manage my emotions and not be so impulsive, because when I kept getting faked out and seeing that the market did want to try to keep going again, I could have done my part in just controlling my emotions, maybe stepping away for a bit or just realizing that I'm over trading, and yeah, it's just not been doing me the best. So that's what I'd encourage any of you guys do if you got something out of today's video. If the market is choppy, if you find yourself continuously getting in trades and they keep going south, maybe that's just an indication to you that the market direction isn't that clear that day, right? And you shouldn't look to be basically sizing in so heavy, because if I did my part in managing risk today, which thankfully could have ended a lot worse, right? I could have ended down like, let's say 150 rather than 40 something dollars. But if I manage my risk, the days where direction is clear, like let's say tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, I can really step on the gas then and take advantage of the clear direction and not worry about having to take a huge loss that I'm trying to make the money back because I was forcing trades when direction wasn't clear, right? And yeah, that's just what I want you guys to get out of. It's what makes sense in my opinion. And yeah, that's just my opinion. So thank you guys so much once again for tuning back in. It really does mean a lot. And I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video. Take care.